Hello! Now they say you can find beauty anywhere, even in the midst of despair.
And that is the nugget of wisdom we are holding on tight to as we start this day, choosing to be positive despite everything.
A very beautiful morning to you, and we welcome you to this journey that we're about to embark on.
Yeah, it will take all of 2 hours and 45 minutes. And you get to spend all that time with all the ladies on Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, so because it is a Wonder Women Wednesday show, my name is Titilaya Oyinson.
And my name is Mary Bashua Alimi. You can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
You can always send in your comments with the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC for social media.
Yeah, of course.
Download our app as well. It's available for you to download for both Android and iOS.
And you know, to watch all our exciting episodes on YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, TVC Entertainment, okay?
Yeah, so also, we always have something extra on Fridays. This Friday, we're going to be joined by someone special in the afternoon at 2:30 p.m. on Instagram Live.
That's right. So we're just going to get right into it.
Yes.
So talking about the highlights, what to expect today, that's our question for relationship expert Tehila Idowu, as she joins us to discuss things to talk about in a relationship. So if you've ever wondered about that, it's your lucky day.
And then it's on to a musical performance. That'll be coming from Agbo Nelson, a.k.a. Madiba, a rapper and songwriter, coming live on the show. Welcome.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman Wednesday has come back to us. We love it when the ladies take over. And what the week has been, it's been a weird one. Let's just put it that way.
There's something that's been happening to me a lot. Right after I had Eliana, and I noticed it today, actually, and it's called mommy brain.
It's called
Mommy brain.
Mommy brain. That mommy brain thing that happens whenever you can't remember anything.
It's actually, where it happens when a mother just, has her baby, and, there's that cascade of hormones happening with her, and, there's sort of there's not enough, juice going into the brain. And then I found out that it actually doesn't last for long. It doesn't take too long. Like, it's just a temporary thing that happens, basically.
So I'm wondering if Mary ever had mommy brain.
Right?
Mommy brain is a thing, but I don't know if Mary ever went through that.
Besides mommy brain, I've just always had that brain, that kind of brain. It's so easy to forget things. It's so easy to lose touch with things around you. But hey, as we say, we keep learning every day, working on it.
Yeah.
I remember a particular case of mommy brain that I had to endure, where I couldn't remember where my toothbrush was or my hairbrush was.
Wow,
things that belonged to me, I was always searching for them. But everything that happened to belong to the kids were always in my mind. So I would know where the bottles and the bibs and diapers were, and I would go there and instantly pick them. But when it was like, wait, where did I put that hairbrush? So it just felt like my brain had readjusted to just focus on them.
And you're quite right, as a matter of fact. So you find that you lose yourself. That's the word. Some people refer to it as postpartum depression, but it might not necessarily be that. It might just be a case of you just being so, so involved with your child that you forget that you're also equally important. So you're still awed, mesmerized by that little one until the day you wake up looking like someone who just escaped from the jungle. And then you realize, okay, what's been happening to me? Where have I been? Well, it's part of life, as they say. It's part of life.
And we have to kind of refocus. If you know someone that's going through something like that, they're not going crazy. Don't worry. They're not losing it. They just need some time to simmer down and adjust some things.
That's why new moms need help. They need support. When I say new moms, I'm not referring to first-timers. I'm talking about every time a woman has a child, she needs support. Many people take it for granted, especially when the woman has had one, for example, and they're like, what about your experience now? You understand? And then, with all of this, we also need to talk about what we mentioned earlier on the show, talking about the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Titi, I know you have 1 or 2 things to say about that.
Yes, now there's a lot we need to, well, a lot of people have done quite a bit to make sure that people are more breast aware.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information that we need to help share. That's why we have a doctor coming in today. And we'll be finding out a lot more about the theme for the day, things you can do to be part of it. And hopefully we'll find some stories to share with you about some people who have survived breast cancer. It's a very, very big issue that needs to, we need to give a lot more awareness about it, and we'll be doing a bit of that on Wake Up Nigeria. But
I'm looking forward to it already, as a matter of fact. There are several women, in fact, that do not know how to check still for lumps. So it's important for you to learn these things. There's so many ways you can check them out on the internet. You could ask your doctor. Some ladies are quite shy about speaking to their doctor. It's important to talk to your doctor about this, because breast cancer actually kills, and I'm not kidding. It does.
At this point, I believe it's time for us to take the news update, and Mary Bashwa Alimi is taking that.
Thank you very much, Titi. Now, we are starting our coverage of the Nsas protests in some cities of the country, and it is a major win for Nsas campaigners. Their 5-point demand has now been approved by the presidency. The requests include halting use of force against demonstrators and unconditional release of those arrested, and those were okayed at a meeting organized by the Office of the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu. It was a multi-stakeholders forum, also attended by leaders and representatives of civil society organizations in Nigeria, activists from the entertainment industry, and the Nsas movement and development partners. The Ministry of Police Affairs and Police Service Commission were also present at the meeting that affirmed that the 5-point demands of the protesters and the Nsas movement are genuine concerns and will be addressed by the government. Tuesday's decision comes on the back of continued protests across the country, despite the dissolution of SARS by the IGP on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police has ordered all personnel of the defunct SARS to report at the force headquarters, Abuja, for debriefing, psychological and medical examination. According to the IGP, the officers are expected to undergo this process as a prelude to further training and reorientation before being redeployed into mainstream policing duties. Also, the IGP has set up a new special weapons and tactics team, that's SWAT, that will fill the gaps arising from the dissolution of the defunct SARS. Prospective members of this new team will also undergo psychological and medical examination to ascertain their fitness and eligibility for the new assignment. They are to commence training at the different police tactical training institutions nationwide next week. While reaffirming his irrevocable commitment towards a successful and holistic implementation of the police reforms, the IGP enjoined members of the public, particularly Protestant citizens, to exercise restraint and allow measures being put in place to come to fruition and engender a police force that would meet the yearnings and aspirations of the citizenry. Meanwhile, in fulfillment of his promise to thousands of protesters championing Nsas campaign in Lagos, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has met with President Muhammadu Buhari and the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, in Abuja. Mr. Sanwo-Olu traveled to Abuja shortly after addressing protesters at Alausa in Lagos State, met with the president at the Presidential Villa Abuja to update him on the development in Lagos State. He presented the demands of Lagos youth on the need for the federal government to initiate reforms that will bring about Nigeria police that will protect and respect the rights of the citizens. The governor also met with the IGP at the police headquarters in Abuja. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who had earlier identified with protests against the dissolved Special Anti-Robbery Squad, also spoke passionately on need for reforms in the operations of law enforcement agencies as being championed by the #Nsas protesters. Now, reactions continue to trail the federal government's extension of the suspension of the new electricity tariff regime by 1 more week. Now, this comes after the ad hoc technical committee on electricity tariff submitted its interim report at a reconvened meeting between federal government and organized labor on Monday in Abuja. The new tariff was earlier suspended for 2 weeks. Senator Chris Ngige, Minister of Labor and Employment, while reading a resolution reached, said that adoption of the work plan for effecting the resolutions has been reached. Using of the Nigerian electricity supply industry, NESI VAT process to provide relief in electricity tariff. This is to leverage on the VAT from the NESI, the increases experienced by customers due to the transition to the service-based tariff will be reduced. That is, Band A, 10% reduction, Band B, 10.5% reduction, and Band C, 31% reduction. Moving on, G20 finance ministers and central bank governors are set to hold a virtual meeting today under the Saudi presidency to discuss how to support a rapid, sustainable global economic recovery. The meeting will also discuss updates to the G20 action plan for supporting the global economy during the coronavirus pandemic and the progress made in the G20 initiative to suspend debt service payments and the proposal to extend it to 2021. And that's it on the news updates for this hour. We will take a break and return with the sports news shortly.
Thank you, Mary. And it's about time for us to take a quick peek at what's happening on the covers of the papers this morning. The Nation newspaper is where we're starting, and today is Wednesday, October 14th. Major headline here on the cover: protesters adamant despite government's approval of request. IG summons ex-SARS operatives. SWAT now police anti-robbery squad. Sanwo-Olu, Wike, Uzodinma, Makinde identify with Nsas Protests. It also says right at the top here, opposition rejects Buhari's aides pick for INEC job. Supreme Court now has 20 justices. Akeredolu to Ajayi, quit if you have honor. ASU's alternative to IPPIS for government consideration. Federal government won't seek relief from 31 trillion naira debt. Buhari governors lead tributes as JP Clark dies at 86. That's what we have on the cover of the Nation newspaper. On the Daily Independent, we have this: federal government okays 5-point demands as Nsas protests spread. IGP sets up team to replace the defunct SARS. Former SARS personnel to undergo psychological exam. Police boss Adamu to brief governors over protests today. Reps to include Nsas victims' compensation in budget. Meanwhile, federal government to double airports by 2023. And IPPIS, federal government considers alternative platform for ASU. Outrage trails Buhari's aides' appointment as INEC commissioner. We must work to sustain victory at polls, Buhari tells APC. And Professor J.P. Clark died an intellectual colossus, according to Omwa-Agege. That's what we have on the cover of the Daily Independent. Let's see what we have on the cover of the Daily Trust. INEC chairmanship, Yakubu's fate hangs in the balance. There's serious confusion in the commission, it says. Senators, PDP, CSOs flay Loretta's nomination as commissioner. She never contested election under our party, say APC. Meanwhile, IGP replaces FSARS with SWAT. A new outfit shouldn't just be a mere name. Hashtag end SARS protest ground states. Deploy SARS for Boko Haram war, Borno governor says here. And protesters generate over 25 million naira in 5 days. Vigilante kill 14 Fulani in Katsina. The slave wives of Betcheve in Cross River. 34-year-old Nigerian in race for governor in the USA. Let's see what we have here. Just under the masthead there, federal government rejects debt relief offer. Senate confirms 8 nominees for Supreme Court justices. IPPIS, again, federal government considers ASU's request, subjects UTAs to integrity test. On the cover of Business Day, we have this: Nigeria's cancer sufferers struggle for care under 10 radiotherapy machines instead of 200. Government uncertain of Eurobond issuance in 2021, but will review tax and fiscal laws. It also says inside this paper today, government gets timely reminder of constraints to solely funding infrastructure. That's what we have on the cover of Business Day. And those are the covers that we have access to at this time. This morning, we're going to be taking a quick break and return with the traffic updates in the city of Lagos.
You're welcome to the Lagos traffic update here on Wake Up Nigeria. If you have been anywhere in Lagos anytime this week, you'll agree with us that it's been nothing but hectic moving around. But information is power, and we are here to give you just that when it comes to the traffic situation around Lagos this morning, especially the Ikorodu area of Lagos State. And of course, I'll be taking off from the Ikorodu roundabout, popularly known as Garage. If you're making your way out of Ikorodu this morning, I've got you. And right now at the Ikorodu roundabout, the traffic situation isn't so bad as it's expected at this time of the day. But let's see, just as you move towards Agric, it gets really tense there. I see quite an impediment, and it's quite serious this morning. Now, let's say right after Agric, just as you approach Ogolonto, I see light traffic. And let's see, Majidon area of Lagos State this morning, there's light traffic. And then as you move towards Owode Oniri, the traffic seems to get really, really, really bad from what I see from the map here. And it goes all the way to Mile 12. Bear in mind that the road construction on the Mile 12 road this morning is still ongoing. So you'll have to probably take the Alakbere, which is a good alternative route this morning, or the diversions if you're making your way to the island this morning. Now, let's see, the Mile 12 traffic builds up all the way to K2. Interesting. And yes, so all the way to K2 there is traffic, and then it eases up just as you approach Ojota. But I see some traffic here. On the other side of the road, if you're going into Ikorodu, that's along the Ojota axis, the traffic situation there is pretty tense this morning. I wonder why. And if you have any, let us know what the traffic situation where you are is like this morning. You could reach out to us on our social media platforms at TVC Connect. Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria. We would like to hear from you. And let's see what the traffic situation on Lagos Ikorodu Road is like this morning. Okay, so Maryland seems quite free, relatively. I don't see any impediments there at all. Ilopeju area this morning, there's no impediments. And just as you approach Jibowu, I see slight traffic just before you climb on the Jibowu bridge that takes you towards Tejosho. Yes, there's quite an impediment there, but it's not so serious. And ladies, I don't know if you have any traffic update on Twitter.
We were actually checking that out as you were reading. About 18 minutes ago, around 6:04, an alert came out saying no access road for motorists coming from Ikorodu Road or Jota, Maryland to connect Tollgate, Ibadan Secretariat. Now, this is according to Lagos Traffic Chief, and also Lasema Social. So I'm not sure. It looks like a trailer that has hit a long vehicle, one of the long vehicles that they use tarpaulin to strap down whatever they're carrying, and it looks like there's no access. Literally, it's crossed the entire expressway.
Yes.
All right.
And that picture is not. It's not.
It's
one
a
of those.
gory
It's not
one.
looking good at all.
No.
Unfortunately, That's the only updates we have on social media right now.
Thank you very much, Titi and Mary. And there's been a lot of traffic, a lot of accident happenings around Lagos. Please, please, please try to avoid road rage as much as possible. And please drive carefully as well. It's important because we're in the Ember months and it's expected. But anyways, let's see what the traffic situation on the Eko Bridge is like this morning. Good for you.
All right.
The traffic situation isn't bad. I don't see any traffic at all. The Igomo area seems quite free as well. The Eko Bridge is free. That's the Akbobon Bridge. I don't see any traffic, no impediment at all. But just as you approach CMS, ooh, I see a bit of traffic there at this time. Which is expected because it's rush hour and everybody is getting to work at this time. And basically that's, let's see, okay, the Lagos Island area.
All right.
I see traffic here and there, but Marina Road is quite free at this time, which is usually a very busy road at this time of the day, but it seems quite free. And that's it on the traffic updates this morning. Ladies, what are we talking about?
We can't wait for you to get here. We're so eager to get to this topic.
I know.
Actually, Mary and I were just going through it, and we actually had the opportunity to talk about this a little as ladies earlier on. And it's all about red flags today. Red flags.
Red flags.
So there was a tweet from Shola Dio that, you know, it's basically like a statement stroke question. But it says, when we say you girls should marry godly men who have sense and a conscience, you won't hear. You'll be going after your flimsy specs and ignoring all the red flags. Why won't they leave you at the delivery room and be hanging out with fellow drunkards and adulterers?
Okay.
Ouch. Ouch.
This is a very interesting topic, because I mean, I know later on we'll be sharing our experiences, but it's important that we let our, viewers in on this topic. So have you ever like waved off any red flags in your relationships? Let us know. Hit at us on all our social media platforms. Use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria. Please, I am waiting for those comments. Keep them reeling in. I can't wait.
So the base of this discussion really is, what are the red flags that you often looked out for before you settled down? So red flags could come from anything. It could be how he sips his tea, or how
red flag.
No,
sips his tea.
Yes. How I'm
the
talking
most
about
inconsequential
little
things sometimes. Yeah.
Tiny things could be red flags to some people, but then there's some deeper things. So let me just drop my own first.
Okay.
So a red flag for me is how he treats his parents.
Bam.
That is a big red flag for me. If he's in any way disrespectful, talks to them in a very sad tone,
or condescending manner,
refuses to pick their calls. If you could do that to your own mother, what will you now do to me? I'm serious about this. And then also, whether he's a troublemaker or someone, when I say trouble, you know what I mean by troublemaker now. Always seeking the argument, always trying to find something wrong in everything someone in his family says. That's a big one for me.
What about you?
Yeah.
Why are you pushing it?
Because you started the conversation. I just want to know.
Step by step.
No, step by step.
One after the other.
No, seriously. You tell us
yours. So one of the things I actually look out for is road rage.
Road rage.
Yeah. Yes. How are you on the road? Are you a road rager? Do you go just insulting people?
And we can't say those things on air, but
but yes, those are one of the things I look out for in a partner. Like I looked out for basically, and yes, also how he treats his mother, very important. How he treats his mother, and most importantly for me, your relationship with God.
So
very key.
So the God one, there are some that it's a bit too much.
Yeah, I know the speaking in tongues one, and then eventually when you get married, you're like, where are the tongues, bro? Where are the tongues?
Okay, so for me, the red flags are mine are very different from the regular. I know, of course, you have to watch out for road rage. We overlook that a lot.
Yes.
We feel because he's being polite to me, it doesn't matter what he does to other people, which also applies to the parents.
Yeah.
He doesn't give his mom money when he has money. He tells you he doesn't want them to be on his neck, or he doesn't want to seem rich.
On him, yeah.
One day he's going to decide that you should understand, if I've done this to my parents, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
However, I like to look at how he treats people in general.
Okay.
I do not like the idea of somebody who talks down on people. I have a very big problem with it. So that is already a red flag for me. Now, how you eat
That was
is a
big
red
one.
flag.
I forgot to mention.
See, let no,
snoring.
you know what, how do you know that one before marriage? Okay, so how you eat.
We are going to get to that conversation. Continue.
How you eat. And when I say how you eat, I'm actually referring to, are you the type of person who goes for what you want, or you be pretending? And let me just take a bit. Uncle, if you want to eat, just eat. Those are the kind of people that are never decisive. You want a full pot of food to yourself, go on and take it. Then you'll be pretending, so I will not disturb you. Uncle, disturb me if you want to disturb me. What is all this? Because when you now finally get married, I did not disturb you when we were dating. No. It's there.
Very true.
You asked earlier on as to how would you know if he snores. I'm an advocate for cohabiting before you get married.
Wow.
During the
Advocate is a strong word.
during the courtship period, it's important that you spend some time with your intending partner because you need to know everything and know if you can tolerate, if you can accommodate it or not.
Yeah.
Like hanging of clothes, oh my world, I hate it.
I'm looking for something. There's a word I want to read out the meaning to you
And
guys.
I can't deal with snoring.
Well,
I can't deal with snoring.
so
As much as I deal with it now.
Let me tell you about this. It's something called hand fasting. It's a ceremony, a ritual that spans years back. And guess what it is about?
What?
1 year, 1 day of a couple, an intending couple, to live together. And guess what? I'm talking about, I'm talking about, this is an ancient, we're talking of thousands of years culture. It's called hand fasting. So they put you guys together. It's also referred to as an engagement. It was in Scottish and English ancient times. So you guys can sleep together, do everything together. If you decide after a year and a day,
that you don't want
or
to be
a year and a
together
month in some cases, that you don't want to be together anymore,
that's okay.
you guys can go your separate ways.
Yes.
So it's funny you would actually mention that.
Yes, so I hear you on all this, and the truth is, I'm not trying to say I was completely white as snow before I got married. I'm not trying to say that. But what I'm thinking about is the other issues that come up when you're cohabitating with a man
that you're not married to.
What kind of issues?
There are a lot of expectations. Then there's a lot of exposure to a lot of secrets that might. So there's more potential for the marriage to not happen if you cohabitate
Auntie,
earlier.
Is it now better if you
calm down?
Wait,
Calm
you
down.
change position.
Calm down. Calm down. There's more potential for it to scatter if you begin cohabitating before.
So you wait.
Wait now.
You marry.
God. Then the marriage will now scatter.
Wait.
After you have found out the secrets. And please.
In that 1 year that you've been cohabitating with someone, what if another potential partner could have come your way, but because you were living with another man?
That's what I said, intending couple during courtship.
I hear you.
Courtship.
That's after
courtship.
engagement.
That's after engagement. That period is very critical. It's a very critical period in your lives because you're going to be spending it for the rest of you're going to be spending it together forever. So you need to know.
I'm hearing you,
Mio, I'm in the middle.
Guess what?
You're right.
Yeah.
She's right. But the end of the matter is, do what works for you. At the end of the day, it might not work for everybody.
There's nothing stopping his parents from bringing another girl under his same roof.
Then
while
you are not an
cohabitating.
intending couple. You are not an
You'd be
intending couple.
surprised. You'd be surprised. But the thing is, you still have no rights until the ring is on your
See
finger.
finish, now be the matter. At the end of the day, people will still live together. And they will be happy. and they will not get married.
They will get pregnant.
Exactly, and then 50 years later, it will not be a case of, okay, let's go and
do wedding. 100 years
and
after.
then some. She's right. It works both ways. Just do what works for you.
Yeah.
That's it.
But
Wish we had
also
more
like to hear
time
from you. Yeah.
to talk about this, but we'll have to take your tweets and posts as well. Just make sure you use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. What are your red flags? We really want to know. Let's take
go
a
on this
quick
break.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for us to have a conversation with Oluwatosin Shubambo, aka YKD Ladies Master. YKD is a Nigerian Afro hip hop and dance hall artist with singles like Ronke, Yarinya, Baby Girl, and others to his name. He is an entrepreneur and entertainment guru signed to his own record label, Shobam Music World. He also has a new single out titled Finest Girl, which is a song dedicated to all the beautiful ladies. Great to have you on the show this morning, YKD.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's just get straight to it. For many people, this is probably their first time of hearing about you. Could you tell us more about yourself? Who is YKD, Ladies Master?
Thank you very much. YKD Ladies Master is an artist, is a musician, is an entrepreneur, is an activist, is a molder, is everything good you want to think about.
What a way to describe yourself. But most people will be curious about your Ladies Master. So how did you come about Ladies Master? What makes you think you are the Ladies Master?
Basically, what I think about me being a Ladies Master is because I believe I know what it takes to make a woman happy. I believe I have what it takes to make a beautiful woman appreciate themselves, because I understand a whole lot of things about women, about how they feel, because I believe I'm handsome and I'm a good takeaway for every good ladies.
What about YKD? Where is it from? How did you come about the YKD?
Yeah, YKD comes, the meaning of YKD actually is your king dominant.
Your king
this
dominant.
Came about the fact that I dominate my world. Everything I do them based on my own belief and perception. And I'm from a royal family, and that's where the kings come from. And so I'm the king dominant.
Okay,
That's
so YKD, music, how did it all start for you?
Music for me started a very long time ago. I've always had this passion for music when I was very young. I listened to a whole lot of music while growing up. And then when I was young, I was, for the fact that I love music, I have a lot of friends who actually love music then. And we usually do freestyle on the streets. And I figured out, people do tell me I have talent because I sing. I didn't start music in the church like everyone would say. I started music from getting inspiration from people. And basically in entertainment, I started as a dancer back then when I was in high school.
Oh, wow.
So eventually I realized I have this huge talent. And my first time going into the studio to record a song was back in 2006. And, just to try my talent and explore. And the music I recorded then was My Money. It wasn't very good because it was a learning process then. But I have a lot of people telling me that you have this in you, you should, put some more effort in trying to do music. So that was when it all started. And, as time goes on, I decided to record more songs, learn how to write songs, do a lot of research how to really, get into music. And that's how it all started.
That's
so
good.
We got here today.
That's good. Yeah. Everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has a story to tell. So, talking about the music industry now, are there any particular artists you would like to collaborate with?
Yeah, a whole lot of them, a whole lot of them. But, as it is now, I am more of a conscious musician.
Okay.
And I like the likes of Burna Boy.
Okay.
the likes of Wizkid,
Okay.
a whole lot of them, Two-Face,
Okay.
a whole lot of them actually. I love all the musicians, basically, but it depends on how the relationship turn up to be. But I'm free and open to work with any artist in the Nigerian music industry.
Okay, so let's talk about, you've come so far, and I'm sure you have plans for the future. So let's take it in a two-step answer, okay? First, we have like 2 months left before the end of 2020. What are your plans for the rest of the year regarding your music?
Yeah, my plans for the rest of the year, basically right now, Finance Girl is the new single I'm promoting right now, and as it is, the promotion just gets started. And I hope to promote this music towards the end of the year, and by December, I hope to, release another song. And that's definitely gonna be the collaboration, but I don't have an artist in particular I'm gonna work with, but in progress we're gonna figure that out.
And I believe that also mirrors your plans for the next 5 years, right? It does.
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic, fantastic. All right, thank you so much for being on the show. YKD, Ladies Master, great to have you on the show today. Thank you so much. I wish you the very best in your career.
Thank you very much.
All right, and with that, we end the first hour on Wake Up Nigeria this morning. We still have an hour, 45 minutes to go. Make sure you stay with us, okay? You know, there are many, and when I say many, I mean many, many ways to be a part of a movement. And we are on a movement of our own this morning.
A movement to tell every girl child out there that anything is possible as long as she's willing to put in the work.
That's right, that's right. We are also on a movement against breast cancer, as the month of October is about breast cancer awareness, okay?
Now, yesterday was No Bra Day, and we talked a bit about it yesterday, but of course, Wednesdays are very, very special to us on Wake Up Nigeria.
Yeah, because all the ladies get together and really hang out. It's day together. So thank you for joining us this morning once again to be a part of it. My name is Mary Bashua Alimi.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. If you want to stream this show live because you need to move around, please do. tvcentertainment.tv and of course facebook.com/TVC Connect.
All right. We also have a super cool app available for download at both Android and iOS stores. Now this app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world.
Yeah. And you can watch all our exciting episodes, catch up with them on YouTube. Once you subscribe to our YouTube channel, that's TVC Entertainment.
Now, this Friday, as usual, we have someone special joining us on Wake Up Extra, and that's by 2:30 p.m. via IG Live.
On a lighter note is going to be coming up later on the show.
For tips on how to make our lives easier. And then we'll be bringing us a new episode of Life Hacks much later on the show.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month is the month of October, as we said earlier, and we have a health specialist and clinical entrepreneur, Dr. Olufemi Olaleye, joining us to discuss breast cancer and being breast aware. Yeah, way to start a conversation.
Yeah, talking about red flags, right?
So quite a lot of comments already coming through on social media. We appreciate you. Just make sure you use our hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC.
Yes.
Now, we have to mention that I say the world lost an icon. Prolific writer, poet, playwright J.P. Clark yesterday. Now, for those who don't remember him, maybe if you did literature, you've heard of poems and a poem called State of the Nation.
State of the Union.
State of the Union, rather. And of course, Mandela, he also had that. There was another play that he wrote that was really interesting. It was called The Raft, where 4 people were just clinging to a wooden raft that was floating along the River Niger, and they're clinging on for dear life. And the conversations that happened while they're clinging to that raft, imagine that in a play. Just imagine the kind of mind he had. And it just feels like we should appreciate him for all his great works. Award-winning writer. So it's sad that we lost him.
Yes, it's really sad. Our condolences go out to his families, and we know that he's in a better place.
Yes, and he gave a lot of himself. Yeah. I know Mary and I were talking a bit about J.P. Clark earlier on today.
Yeah, he's actually a very interesting playwright. I say that because when you read some of his books, you'd realize that he has a good knowledge of what he wants to pass across, and he knows just how to go about it. I was mentioning to you guys a book I'm currently reading by Lola Shoneyin. That's The Secret Lives of Baba Segi's Wives. And that book always, every time I'm going through certain parts in the book, it just brings J.P. Clark to mind. Very similar.
All right.
Nice. Interesting. All right, he also has his own version of Abiku.
Yes.
Well, I'm not, you know, I have a science background.
Yes.
So I know that I caught up on a few of his books, even though I never read them. So now that you guys are, you know, talking about how much of an interesting writer he is, I think I'll check out some of his books.
So it's one thing to write something and it being appreciated in Nigeria, but it was also appreciated in Howard University and all over the world.
He also studied abroad. I mean, he studied abroad and he was widely traveled.
Yeah.
And, well, you could also tell, since Mary said actually that he has a good knowledge of, you know, the contents that he, you know, put in his book. So you can imagine how much he must have explored.
Now, hopefully, at this point, you know, you can maybe just go online and find out more about him and maybe pick up a book. I've always been an advocate of people finding something good to read, and his work, so definitely.
I must thank you, MM, for mentioning Abiku, because I'm beginning to recollect certain parts of the book and how at some point I was really confused as to whether to believe if SS is actually what SS is, or if Abiku is the real thing. So thank you for mentioning it again. I'm going to read it again.
All right. Thank you very much, Mary. Over to you for the news.
Thank you very much. Now, we are starting with our coverage of the Nsas protests in some cities of the country, and it is a major win for Nsas campaigners. The 5-point demand is now approved by the presidency. The requests, which include halting use of force against demonstrators and unconditional release of those arrested, were okayed at a meeting organized by the Office of the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu. It was a multi-stakeholders forum, also attended by leaders and representatives of civil society organizations in Nigeria, activists from the entertainment industry, and the hashtag Nsas movement and development partners. The Ministry of Police Affairs and Police Service Commission were also present at the meeting that affirmed that the 5-point demands of the protesters and the hashtag Nsas movement are genuine concerns and will be addressed by the government. Tuesday's decision comes on the back of continued protests across the country, despite the dissolution of SARS by the IGP on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police has ordered all personnel of the defunct SARS to report at the force headquarters, Abuja, for debriefing, psychological and medical examination. According to the IGP, the officers are expected to undergo this process as a prelude to further training and reorientation before being redeployed into mainstream policing duties. Also, the IGP has set up a new Special Weapons and Tactics Team, SWAT, that will fill the gaps arising from the dissolution of the defunct SARS. Prospective members of this new team will also undergo psychological and medical examination to ascertain their fitness and eligibility for the new assignments. They are to commence training at the different police tactical training institutions nationwide next week. While reaffirming his irrevocable commitment towards a successful and holistic implementation of the police reforms, the IGP enjoined members of the public, particularly protesting citizens, to exercise restraint and allow measures being put in place to come to fruition and engender a police force that would meet the yearnings and aspirations of the citizenry. Meanwhile, in fulfillment of his promise to thousands of protesters championing hashtag Nsas campaign in Lagos, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has met with President Muhammadu Buhari and the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, in Abuja. Mr. Sanwo-Olu traveled to Abuja shortly after addressing protesters at Alausa in Lagos State, met with the President at the Presidential Villa Abuja to update him on the development in Lagos State. He presented the demands of Lagos youth on the need for the federal government to initiate reforms that would bring about Nigeria police that will protect and respect the rights of the citizens. The governor also met with the IGP at the police headquarters in Abuja. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who had earlier identified the protest against the dissolved Special Anti-Robbery Squad, also spoke passionately on the need for reforms in the operations of law enforcement agencies as being championed by the #Nsas Protesters. Now, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has reported 225 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 60,655. Lagos State recorded the highest number of cases with 165 new infections, followed by the Federal Capital Territory with 17. So far, 52,006 people have been discharged, while 1,116 people have died from COVID-19 complications. Now, the G20 finance ministers and central bank governors are set to hold a virtual meeting today under the Saudi presidency to discuss how to support rapid, sustainable global economic recovery. The meeting will also discuss updates to the G20 action plan for supporting the global economy during the coronavirus pandemic and the progress made in the G20 initiative to suspend debt service payments and the proposal to extend it to 2021. And that's the news updates for this hour. We will now move on to the sports updates.
Hello and welcome back. It's about time for us to take a quick look at the headlines in the dailies this morning. And we're going to be starting with the Nation newspaper. And the major headline here says, protesters adamant despite government approval of requests. IG summons ex-SARS operatives. SWAT, now police anti-robbery squad. Sanwo-Olu, Wike, Uzodinma, Makinde identify with Nsas Protests. Now, as you can see, that's a photo story there of the protesters at Allen Junction in Ikeja in Lagos yesterday. We also have right at the top of the page here, opposition rejects Buhari's aide's pick for INEC job. Supreme Court now has 20 justices, Senate OK's nominees. Akeredolu to Ajayi, quit if you have honor. Page 8 has more on that. ASU's alternative to IPPIS for government consideration. It also says, just under the masthead there, federal government won't seek relief from 31 trillion naira debt. Buhari governors lead tributes as J.P. Clark dies at 86. He did pass away on 13th of October, or as it says here, he finally dropped his pen in the early hours of yesterday. It says here also 774,000 jobs gets November 1st commencement date. Strike shuts down Kwara. And right at the bottom of the page here, 4 policemen, 8 others die in Ogun, Ondo, Edo Road crashes. And there's more info on page 6. The Daily Independent has this headline, federal government OK's 5-point demand as #Nsas protests spread. IGP sets up team to replace defunct SARS. Former SARS personnel to undergo psychological exam. Police boss Adamu to brief governors over protests today. Reps to include Nsas victims' compensation in budget. Federal government to double airports by 2023, according to Sirika. And there is a list here of the #Nsas protesters' demands, if you want to check that out on the cover. Let's see. All right. IPPIS, on that issue, federal government considers alternative platform for ASU. Professor J.P. Clark died an intellectual colossus, according to Omo Agege. And outrage trails Buhari's aide's appointment as INEC commissioner. 14 civil society organizations, PDP kick. And right at the bottom here, we must work to sustain victory at polls, Buhari tells APC. Let's see what we have on the cover of the Daily Trust. Federal government rejects debt relief. That's just under the masthead there. But a major headline is this. INEC chairmanship, Yakubu's fate hangs in the balance. There's serious confusion in the commission. Senators, PDP, CSOs flay Loretta's nomination as commissioner. She never contested election under our party, say APC. More information on that on page 5. IGP replaces SARS with SWAT. New outfit shouldn't just be a mere name. Nsas Protests ground states deploy SARS for Boko Haram war, says Borno governor. Protesters generate over 25 million naira in 5 days. Now, that's a photo story of the protesters along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway by Alausa Secretariat yesterday in Lagos. As you can see, quite a large crowd there. Vigilante kills 14 Fulani in Katsina. The slave wives of Becheve in Cross River. Page 12 has more on that. And 34-year-old Nigerian in race for governor in the USA. And let's see if I can wrap it with this one. IPPIS, federal government considers ASU's request, subjects UTAs to integrity test. I think we have another paper here. Yes, Business Day has, of course, all the updates on what it's like in the stock exchange, cryptocurrency, and the Bureau de Change rates for this morning. But it also has this. It says, Nigeria's cancer sufferers struggle for care under 10 radiotherapy machines instead of 200. There's a whole story that starts here on the cover and continues on page 30 on that particular matter. Some scenes of the Nsas protesters in Alausa, and of course, that's on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway yesterday. Now, at this point, we have to wrap it up on the headlines in the dailies, but we're going to head straight to the garden for fitness.
Interesting skits there. Now it's time for life hacks. Of course, today we'll be talking about the button-down shirts. And I've got Zainab here with me, and she's going to be my model for today. Smile now, kilo day. All right, so the button-down shirts, otherwise known as boyfriend shirts, are one of the most sustainable and versatile piece of clothing. I mean, this piece of clothing has been passed on from generations to generations, and it's very unisex. Men can wear it, women can wear it. And today I'll be showing you different ways and fun ways to jazz it up and style it. You know me now. I know how to bring the SARS, the jazz. Anyways, enough of the talk. Let's just get right to it. All right, so first off, here is one way I'll be showing you how to wear your button-down shirts. What you do now is you button up the first button of the shirt. And okay, this is a little stiff here. Okay, now what I'm going to do next is I'm not going to button the rest of the shirt. I'm just going to take this sideways and then tuck it in behind. So there are so many interesting ways you can style your button-down shirts, not the conventional way that we know it as. So this is one way you can style it as. You can style it any ways you want to, with a skirt, with a jean. It depends on your choice of clothing. Next up is, so we're going to take this one sleeve down, just one sleeve. I'm going to leave this on, yes. And then I'm going to tuck in the color of the shirt nicely and neatly. And then I'm going to take the other side of the shirt. I'm going to put this, take it underneath your arm, and then button down. I'm going to button this up nicely. So what we are trying to work with here is what I call a deconstructed piece of clothing. It's trending right now. It's one of the major trends for 2020. You should check it out. Deconstructed shirts, or you can call them deconstructed sleeves. So we're going to button this down. And next up, I'm going to take the sleeve that we have here and then tie it to the other side of the shirt like this. Like I'm doing here. Wrap it in nicely. And then I'm going to tie it again. All right. So what I did here, there you have it. So it's more like a monostrap, but it could also be a deconstructed sleeves. Another fun way, I'm going to show you how to style your button-down shirt is, so what we're trying to work with here is more like a no sleeves top. So you take it below both arms, button it up nicely, like I'm doing here. And so make sure it's as tight as possible. Sorry, raise your arms a little. Thank you very much. And I'm just going to button this up here. Okay. Now I'm going to take both sleeves and then tie it around the bust area, just underneath the bust, like I have here. Stretch it out, give it a nice look. And then I'm going to knot it out, knot it again. See what I have here? That's another way to style your button-down shirt. So there are so many ways you can style your button-down shirts, not just the conventional way. Who says normal is good, but jazzing it up is also not a bad idea. So let's try something else. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this on here and see. You could also put it this way. Yeah, let's say if you're going on a night out, to a dinner date or to a club, you could do this. So I'm just going to tie this at the back and just leave it here. See what I did here? So that way it's nice and trendy. Great. Another way I'm going to style this shirt is, so we're going to loosen all of the buttons. I hope you're not tired, Zainab. Okay, so next up, this is quite an interesting one I'm going to show you here. So you're going to wear the shirt backwards, put this in, then, can you like show to the camera? Great. So I'm just going to knot this here. So this is a quite flirty style, but very nice. I particularly like this style. So you could wear it with nothing, or you could just, you know, wear a camisole like Zainab has on here. And then, if you really do not like high necks like I have on here, what you can do is you can tuck it in. So I'm just going to tuck this in to just give it another look. So tuck this in nicely. You see what I've created here? This is another look. Okay, so I hear someone saying that she needs to see the back of the shirt, so I'm going to show it again so that you see what it looks like. You see? Nice and flirty, creating that V neck here. See what I've done here? Great. Now, I'm going to loosen this up and then create something similar. Sorry about that. Can you wear this? Great, just so this is the final look I'm going to create here. So what I'm doing here is I'm tucking in the colors. I'm creating like a V-neck here, and then I'm going to button up here. So remember, when working with your button down shirts or boyfriend shirts, like I call them, allow your imaginations run wild. Have fun. It's fashion. It keeps evolving. So you could either knot it here, you could tuck it in, or you could just, you know, create a wrap effect here, like I'm doing here. So I'm just going to tuck this in and tuck this in. See? Fantastic. And that's it on Life Hacks for today. I hope you've learned quite a lot. And if you're trying any of this out, please reach out to us on all our social media platforms. I would like to see what you have created with your buttoned down shirts. And that's it on Life Hacks for now. There's still so much more on the show, guys. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. Now, every October is dedicated to the awareness of breast cancer in countries across the world, with the primary aim to encourage early detection and treatment. With this year's theme being Together Access, Dr. Olufemi Olaleye, who is a health specialist, has joined us to have a conversation on breast cancer awareness. Now, his foundation designs and delivers free cancer screening services for men and women across Nigeria. Dr. Femi, it is so good to see you.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for taking out time to talk to us on this year's theme. Now, you've done this for a very, very long time.
Donkey years.
Yeah, so it feels like, you know, we keep talking about the same things and the awareness hasn't quite hit home. What are the key things that people need to know about breast cancer?
Thank you very much. Yes, primary reason why I've been doing this for a long time is because you can never do too much awareness. You need to constantly, raise awareness, and that's what I do and my foundation, Optimal Cancer Care Foundation. That's what we do on a daily basis. However, the World Health Organization, through its major cancer partners, have more or less agreed that October should be the month of breast cancer awareness, and pink being the color of breast cancer awareness as well. Three things I would say that women need to know about breast cancer. One, it can happen to anybody. In fact, in Nigeria, the risk of breast cancer happening to a woman is 1 in 25. So a lady listening to me right now, just because you have a pair of breasts, the risk of cancer developing in one breast is 1 in 25 women. So if you have 100 women gathered in a hall, in an office today, during the lifetime of those women, 4 will develop breast cancer. That's how common it is. The second thing we need to know about breast cancer, and it's very important for women, is that women of color over the age of 40, particularly those with family history, are very predisposed to developing breast cancer. Again, women of color, that's Black women, that's Nigerians, women who have delayed procreation earlier or later than the age of 40, and of course, there's family history. That means mother, sister, or aunt on the maternal side. They have a higher risk of this cancer. And the last thing women need to know about breast cancer is actually preventable. The deaths from breast cancer are preventable because it's a disease that gives women a long period of time before it can cure. And therefore, the message is about early detection. So I have a slogan for women they can easily remember when it comes to breast cancer. Early detection is the best protection. Early detection is the best protection because when a lump starts in a woman, it starts like a tiny seed, about the size of a groundnut. But it continues to grow insidiously, painlessly, symptomlessly in this woman. And it can grow to the size of maybe a bigger nut, like a cashew nut. Then it can grow to the size of garden egg. And as time goes on, it grows on to be as big as an orange. Is that when it gets to that later stage that most women actually notice a problem, and by that time it's too late. And that's why the essence of cancer awareness is to let women know, one, it can happen to you, it can happen to anybody. If you have higher risk, therefore do the necessary things you need to do. And then all women should get screened because screening allows us to detect it early and prevent late presentation.
Okay, so doctor, can I ask if there's a particular age group that should look to going for screening? What age does a woman have to get to, or indeed a man, as they say, it does affect men as well. What age would you advise that they begin to go for regular screening?
Thank you. Regular screening involves women going to a health facility and getting themselves checked by a health professional. And in this instance, because it's the breast of these women, they have their breast checked. But we realize that might be a problem. So we teach women to examine their breasts themselves. We call it self-breast examination.
Okay.
And then they come into a hospital to do clinical breast examination. So what age should women start doing this? From the moment they start having breast buds. So which means I'm going as low as maybe a 10-year-old girl that's just begun developing breast buds. And mothers are encouraged to teach these young ladies, young girls, how to examine their breasts themselves. So by the time they become teenagers, because we do see breast cancer in teenagers, they know what it's all about. And by the time they are mothers themselves, then they can pass on that information and teach their own daughters. And it's been quite rewarding to see women turning up at my clinic these days and say, oh, I discovered my lump when I was examining myself. And I've seen daughters being brought by their moms because they were taught when they were younger about breast examination. So the age is usually from when they have breast buds. So in your own case, it could be 10. In another young girl, it could be 12. And then that goes on through to maturity. In fact, women in their 60s, 70s, 80s, if they're still alive and they are well and they are healthy, they should pay attention to their breast. But for women who are older, we will advise that they could do maybe a diagnostic or screening imaging. Reason being that as you grow older and the breasts are getting bigger, you could easily miss some lumps when you examine yourself.
Dr.
Even
Femi.
as a doctor, I can, yes.
Dr. Femi, thank you so much for all you do, all the great work you've done over the years, all the conversations you've had, all the people you've mentored. And thanks for always wearing pink. We can see you're wearing a pink jacket today, which is the color for the month. Thank you so much, Dr. Femi.
And I hope that women can come to our clinic and get their screening. We offer discounted free screening from time to time. They can check and follow me on social media, and we can get.
I have a feeling I'm going to be coming for an exam myself very, very soon.
I will look forward to seeing you.
Honestly, I would love to hear what people have to say on social media as well. Please use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Thanks, Dr. Femi. And we have to move on with the show right now. There's still so much to celebrate. and Mary are going to be doing that. The ability to smile through everything is a rare gift.
And you know, the ability to do whatever you want, irrespective of your gender and social limitations, is even rarer.
It's been 2 whole hours of amazing women hanging out on Wake Up Nigeria.
Yeah, we've just been doing what we love anyway. That's what you get when you tune in to Wake Up Nigeria on TVC every Wednesday morning from the hour of 6.
45 more minutes to go. And thank you so much for staying with us. If you're just tuning in, you've missed quite a bit, but not to worry, not to worry.
Yeah, it's been all kinds of awesome, and we are loving every minute of it. My name is Mary Bashua Alimi.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. You can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv if you need to move around, or just go to Facebook at TVC Connect.
All right, and you can also join us on our social media pages and send in your comments. We would like to hear from you. Kindly use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
And you know, I said you shouldn't worry earlier on. That's because you can always watch some of our past episodes. And in fact, today's episode, you can catch it on YouTube a bit later on today. Just make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, TVC Entertainment.
And I like to say this one, every Friday we have someone special joining us on Wake Up Extra. And that's by 2:30 p.m. via IG Live.
So, wow, that clip always gets me every time. Oh, goodness me.
It's like, so asking someone, what is your body count?
Yeah. But there was something you wanted to talk about.
Yes, I had an interesting conversation with a friend yesterday, and we're talking about how women should cater more to themselves and take care of themselves because we endure so much emotional and mental stress. And we don't, take our time, to pamper ourselves. And then, inadvertently, we are projecting a lot of the pain that we are going through to our children, and they get to experience toxic parenting, and they grow up to be abusive, or have some behavioral.
It's like a chain reaction.
Yeah.
And I know Mary will agree, that chain reaction of you not taking care of yourself leading to you feeling a lot more stressed, and knowing that you can't really always take it out on your husband. The kids
are the closest to you, that you always transfer that aggression on. And
I was wondering, Mary.
So I realized that the issue is many women don't have time for themselves. That's the secret to balancing. Sometimes you just want to go to the spa, or even just to make your hair, or fix your nails. Those are therapeutic for many women, and it's a way to just ease off stress. We need to ease off stress somehow. We spend so much time surrounding our lives, with family and responsibilities.
Yes,
exactly. So
and
we
then
just need to
I also talked about having that me time, where sometimes I would just lock myself up in the bathroom for hours, because I just wanted some time alone. I just wanted some time, and I just I need to be in my space.
And so there's something that I try to do every year called the Dynamite Women's Hangout.
I'm really looking forward to that this year, though.
I'm hoping we should do it maybe in November. So we just gather all these women together in one place, and we all just have really great conversations. Give ourselves a spa day, watch a movie and things like that. If you have a group of friends, try and work something out, ladies. At this point, we have to take the news update. Mary, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. We are staying with our coverage of the Nsas protests in some cities of the country, and it is a major win for Nsas campaigners. Their 5 points demand is now approved by the presidency. The requests, which include halting use of force against demonstrators and unconditional release of those arrested, were okayed at a meeting organized by the Office of the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu. It was a multi-stakeholders forum, also attended by leaders and representatives of civil society organizations in Nigeria, activists from the entertainment industry, and the #NSARS movement and development partners. The Ministry of Police Affairs and Police Service Commission were also present at the meeting that affirmed that the 5 points demands of the protesters and the #NSARS movement are genuine concerns and will be addressed by the government. Tuesday's decision comes on the back of continued protests across the country, despite the dissolution of SARS by the IGP on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police has ordered all personnel of the defunct SARS to report at the force headquarters, Abuja, for debriefing, psychological and medical examination. According to the IGP, the officers are expected to undergo this process as a prelude to further training and reorientation before being redeployed into mainstream policing duties. Also, the IGP has set up a new Special Weapons and Tactics Team, SWAT, that will fill the gaps arising from the dissolution of the defunct SARS. Prospective members of this new team will also undergo psychological and medical examination to ascertain their fitness and eligibility for the new assignment. They are to commence training at the different police tactical training institutions nationwide next week. While reaffirming his irrevocable commitments towards a successful and holistic implementation of the police reforms, the IGP enjoined members of the public, particularly protesting citizens, to exercise restraint and allow measures being put in place to come to fruition and engender a police force that would meet the yearnings and aspirations of the citizenry. Meanwhile, in fulfillment of his promise to thousands of protesters championing #NSARS campaign in Lagos, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has met with President Muhammadu Buhari and the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, in Abuja. Mr. Sanwo-Olu traveled to Abuja shortly after addressing protesters at Alausa in Lagos State, met with the president at the presidential villa Abuja to update him on the development in Lagos State. He presented the demands of Lagos youth on the need for the federal government to initiate reforms that will bring about Nigeria police that will protect and respect the rights of the citizens. The governor also met with the IGP at the police headquarters in Abuja. Governor Sanwo-Olu who had earlier identified with protests against the dissolved Special Anti-Robbery Squad, also spoke passionately on need for reforms in the operations of law enforcement agencies as being championed by the hashtag Nsas Protesters. To COVID-19 now, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has reported 225 new cases of coronavirus overnight, taking the country's total number of cases to 60,655. Lagos State recorded the highest number of cases with 165 new infections, followed by the Federal Capital Territory with 17. So far, 52,006 people have been discharged, while 1,116 people have died from COVID-19 complications. Now, G20 finance ministers and central bank governors are set to hold a virtual meeting today under the Saudi presidency to discuss how to support rapid, sustainable global economic recovery. The meeting will also discuss updates to the G20 action plan for supporting the global economy during the coronavirus pandemic and the progress made in the G20 initiative to suspend debt service payments and the proposal to extend it to 2021. And that's it on the news, and straight to the sports news updates now.
All right, welcome back. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. And of course, I have here with me relationship expert Tahila Idowu, a go-getter with a contagious passion for exceptional customer service, professional grooming and etiquette. She's also a certified leader and communications expert. And today we will be talking about what do you talk about in a relationship? What are the things that, will keep the relationship going? What are the things to talk about? And of course, Tahila is here with me. Hello, Tahila.
Hi, Mary. Thank you
morning.
so much for having me today. Good morning, everybody.
How are you today?
I'm awesome. Doing super. How are you today?
Oh, all right, great stuff. Now let's get right into this conversation. What do you talk about in a relationship? What are the things, what are the important things, the intricate details that you need to converse about in a relationship?
Thank you so much. Now, I get tired of seeing couples just go out on dates and all they do is eat or go watch a movie. There's more to that relationship than eating. You will eat and you will go and you will crack it out. You will go to the movies and then after a while you're going to forget what you watched. But there are certain things that you need to talk about, especially if you're heading towards marriage. If you're not heading towards marriage, then it's okay. You can eat all you want, get soft, get fat. Yeah, but if you're heading towards marriage, there are certain things you need to talk about. And it's beyond what's your favorite color, what's your favorite meal, what's your pastime, what's your hobby. There's certain things that you need to discuss. And some of them would be, do you have any family issues, health-wise, that I need to know about? Maybe diabetes runs in the family. Maybe there's a history of high blood pressure, or even
Oh, we're having a sort of network bridge there.
You'd be surprised.
Okay, go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay, awesome. So I said, like we discussed last week, if you are in courtship, which means you're heading towards marriage,
yes,
you want to ask the hard questions. I like to ask the hard questions. Is there any health issues that I should know about in your family? Diabetes, schizophrenia, because you'd be surprised.
Okay.
Some things may run in the blood. It might be in the DNA, and you do not know because you're busy smooshing and, just shagging and all of that, and not asking the important questions. Again, you want to ask, what are your visions for our family when we get married?
Okay.
Do we have goals for our family?
Yeah. Go ahead,
Do we
please.
have goals for our family?
Okay.
What kind of schools would we like our children to go to? Would you like them to go to a private school, to a public school, or should we homeschool them? You want to ask critical questions like, all right, so the bills, because I'm a loving wife, I don't want you to pay all the bills, so where do I come in? What can I help you with? What can I share? Because I think it's really, it's just evil, if you ask me, to ask a man to pick up all the bills. So he will pay for the school fees. Your car has an issue, he fixes it. You have a flat tire. By the way, women, it's okay to know how to change your flat. It's okay. You know, so he comes, he takes the car, he services it, he mows the lawn, he takes out the trash, he does all these things. Okay, what exactly do you do? Produce babies? It's beyond that. You know, so we want to ask, how do we share these roles? How do we share the bills? Should I pick up the light bill and then you take care of the school fees? Of course, I think it's ideal for the man to take care of the rent. But it's okay if you pitch in and say, you know what, let's do it 60-40 or 70-30, because you are in a mutually engaging relationship and you don't want to just put all the, you know, the burden on your husband.
Okay.
All right, you want to ask critical questions like, how do we, want me to stop? Because I could just go ahead.
Now let's talk about in-laws. In-laws are a very delicate matter in a relationship to discuss even before you get married. How do you bring up such a discussion?
Well, firstly, I think you should find out how the woman or the man engages with parents when you have a function. And then you look for the right moment, because then you see some patterns. You find out if, you know, your husband to be, you know, like your mom or like your dad, and vice versa.
Okay.
And then, you know, while you're going out on your many dates, you want to throw the question up and say, honey, when we get married, what do you think about people coming to stay with us? You're not going directly the in-laws now. People, okay?
Yes.
So we have in-laws and we have outlaws, but that's for another day. All right, so who can come and stay with us? Siblings, friends from school, colleagues at work. Can our parents come stay over? That's where you slip it in. Can our parents come stay over?
All right, thank you so much, Tahilia. I'm sure that we've learned so much from these nuggets that you've dropped. So here are the things that you need to discuss before you get into that marriage. In-laws, you need to discuss your finances, and a list of other things that she mentioned. Very, very, very important. Thank you so much. And of course, it's time for our first musical performance, and Mary will be taking that. Over to you, Mary.
Thank you very much, MM. It's time for us to have a conversation with a singer popularly known as Madiba, though his real name is Nelson, so you can just pretend he's Mandela. It's great to have you on the show.
Yeah, it's nice.
Fantastic. So,
good morning.
If someone was to meet you on the road now and the person says, Madiba, tell me about yourself, in like a few sentences, tell me about Madiba.
Oh, Madiba is a rapper, singer, and also is songwriter.
Rapper, singer, songwriter.
Yeah. So like I've been on this journey for a while and it's been all good, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I'm going places already, so.
That's good. That's really good to know. So just like the great one, we can't wait for you to take it away.
Sure.
Over to you.
Thanks. One time.
There's a crazy world around me. A virtual reality.
Right. Let's go. Sit back and listen. You
It's been one of those long days, still stressing, no shade. Drive through life, movements in one way. Many wahalas, like Okada riders. Boost stunts just to drive past us. In the driver's seat, thinking what's the next option. Cause looking ahead, there's a huge congestion. Everyone's in a hurry to get known quick. Words on the streets, bros, get your own quick. Boys have to eat. Now help me do this calculation. I got 10 bags, 3 C's, and they're like 5,000. Low key, I was feeling myself. Till I got this slow blow that almost damaged my head. Now I'm back with the fire that once thought was extinguished. Blue flame, so run, something loud in it. And all this wild feelings. You catch a nightlife with my niggas headed to the fella shrine briefly. From the bird's eye view now, I ain't looking down on you now. There's something right with this view now. Like 5D, you should know the difference is clear. I wonder why they all pretend. Men be wearing all black like you're dead to them. But the future's all white, so you stand the test. You only have to represent, give it all your best. These were words my mama said. Slowly reminiscing with the mic in my hand. My homie always told me niggas stick to the plan. It's just a matter of time. The streets gon' recognize the sound of victory all around. I beg pass me the spike till like the touch in my hand. I hear so we can all advance, with all this life teachings. You catch a nightlife with all these wild feelings,
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome. So Olivia Modi is an award-winning TV host, producer, actor, writer, professional compere, and a lawyer.
She's the founder of the Olive Emodi Network, which is aimed at equipping a new wave of media professionals through practical trainings and mentorship.
She was listed as among one of Nigeria's 100 most inspiring women by Leading Ladies Africa in 2018 and by Genevieve magazine as one of their 25 G women in the same year. Hi, Olive.
Hi, Pepe. Good to see you.
Great to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic.
So there's so much to talk about, so many. Okay, so we saw this clip earlier on the show of you in this amazing scene where you were giving a guy, the questioning of his life. That particular scene, the emotion you put in there, you know, that stoic look. Who do you see yourself as more? Do you see yourself as an actor or a broadcaster?
So when I get asked questions like this, I usually like to say I'm a storyteller. I like to see myself as a storyteller. And the work of a storyteller is just telling stories. So whichever capacity I find myself, I can be telling the story as an actor, I can be telling the story as a broadcaster. On the other hand, I think if you had to make me choose one, I would choose acting. And this is a cheap answer because I feel that every day that I go on TV as a broadcaster, I'm also acting. I'm acting because there are times when, and Titi, you would know this, there are times when you're not in the mood to come on air. There are times when you have a personal issue you're dealing with. But the moment you hear 3, 2, 1, and you're live, put all that aside, and you start to deliver. So that is acting because your current reality does not reflect what you're showing on air. So yeah, acting on TV and acting in movies.
Wow.
Okay, so you know, Olive, sometimes when people know you for something, they don't realize just how far back you've gone with something else. Now, if you were to tell us, which one came first, broadcasting or acting?
Okay, unofficially, acting came first. Actually, officially and unofficially, acting came first.
Okay.
So my first acting experience was in 2011. Of course, I've been doing behind the scenes, university, stage plays and all that, but the official one for me in the entertainment industry was when I participated in an acting reality TV show called Delta Talent Quest in 2011. So this was put together by Delta State government. I didn't want to go. I hated auditions. So I just went there, you know, let me just go say, I got there, participated. So it was like what we have today, the Big Brother, just that this one was a lot of acting, coaching, a lot of evictions, and it wasn't up to the audience, it was up to our judges based on weekly performance, and I ended up winning. That was when I thought, you can do this, it's not bad at all. So yeah, that was how my acting journey officially started.
So I have to say, congratulations on being recognized as one of the 100 most influential women and being a G woman as well. Wow, big things are happening, have happened. But does that put any pressure on you as 2020 came and it feels like 2020 just flew by? Does it put any pressure on you to do bigger and better things every single year?
I'd be saying that I'm lying if I say that there's no pressure, right? But it's how the pressure is being handled that issue. And you said something profound. The fact that 2020 came with a shocker for you. We had big plans, Dream 2020, Vision 2020. And then the year started, we're like, okay, the year is just starting, and all of a sudden, COVID. And everything just seemed to be put on hold. But what I've learned every day, which I feel that a lot of us live with, is constantly reminding myself that my competition is, or my daily goal is not just to outshine myself or to outdo myself, right? Is to give the best that is required in every season. So the best that might be required in this season might not outstand or might not outmatch the last big thing that I did, and that's okay. So every time I have to remind myself that, look, it's okay that right now maybe your name is not listed as 100 most influential African women. That's not your purpose. Your purpose is, are you influencing lives in the moment that you are? Are you making the best of your time? Are you making the best of that season? And are you giving the best? And if my answer is yes to all of these questions, I'm not.
Okay,
Beautiful.
so you know how sometimes you get so caught up with life that you tend to forget about your own self. And what informed it was that particular clip that Titi mentioned earlier, you know, we seen. How have you been able to manage your private life in difference to your professional life?
Thank you so much. That's such a great question. And this month, we've been talking a lot about mental health, this mental health awareness one. In fact, a few days ago was World Mental Health Day. I think it's so important that we realize that as much as your life is outside there, it's important that you know where to guard, how to guard it. And it's also important that you look after yourself. So for me, I have certain self-care routines that I'm a part of. My faith is a very big part of who I am. I'm a Christian, and I try. 2020 really took a hit in that area, right? But I always try to remind myself. So for example, this morning I start out my day with prayers. I ensure that I read my Bible. These things help me to stay sane. It helps me to stay sane. I also have certain practices that I involve in, like meditation. So I just sit down, I listen to a lot of meditation music, and I just reflect, practicing gratitude. And sometimes when I realize, I shut down. So I know that my social media, I always let my followers realize that, look, I understand that you're expecting me to deliver content and all, but it's also important, now they are alive, they deliver content. So when I find that I'm in that place where I'm no longer productive, I can't function, and I need to refresh, I take a break from social media. Sometimes I announce, sometimes I sneak out, hoping that they don't notice. Of course, they'll catch me and start sending videos. Are you okay? Are you all right? But I must always encourage people in public space, as much as possible, take time out for yourself. You are priority. It is when you are okay, healthy, and sane that you can give the best of yourself to other people, right? That you can deliver value. So yes, I take time off social media. I listen to music. I focus on trying to build my spiritual life, and just looking for how to bless others. So if you find that when you do something for someone else, there's a certain satisfaction that it does to your soul.
Yes,
makes you feel like, you know, even if you don't have all the money, in that moment, you feel like you've done something so important that has changed your life. So helping other people has a way of indirectly building me up and building us up. Yeah, so those are the things I do to look after myself.
All right, so we did mention the clip quite a few times. I think it's about time we showed people what we're talking about. This is Olive Emodi in action.
Seriously, have you ever?
I am still that friend. You bring your boyfriend, I will interrogate him. In fact, before you bring him to me, I've already done my background research. What kind of tweets does he, what kind of comment does he put in blogs? I will do my background investigation.
Well, earlier
That
today,
was actually what I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you that, have you ever put any of your potential suitors through that interrogation in real life?
No, not like that. Now, I just think I'm coming. But it's important to ask this question. I feel that a lot of people have problems in relationships or marriages because there were things, of course, you can't know everything about a person before you marry them. But there were a lot of issues that were not talked about, that were not dealt with before you go. And I don't think that any question I asked there was invalid. Every single question till tomorrow is valid. You need to know, who is this person? What are they like? Do we have similar values? So I would always ask questions. It's very, very important.
okay, so earlier today, because it's women only on the show today, we had this really interesting question. What are your red flags? So you're in a relationship and everything is going well, but then what has to happen for you to be like, no, this is a deal breaker? Give us your list.
Great question. Why did you say list? Now it's like, this answer is difficult. Well, everybody should have deal breakers. So you know when it's time for you to retreat. For me, kindness is a very big deal. Kindness is so important in a partner or a potential partner. Now, when people talk of kindness or think of kindness, the first thing they're thinking of someone giving you money or giving you gifts. Whilst those are great, those are not the only things I look out for when I talk of kindness. So kindness in actions, kindness in words, kindness even when you're mad. So you find that a lot of people do horrible things when they are angry. And I believe that if you love someone, there are certain things you would never say to them, even in the heat of anger. There are certain things you will never do to them. I haven't been in that position where I'm exchanging words with someone that I love. I don't know how to do all those kind of things. I believe that we're not mad people, we're mature adults. We should sit down and talk. That is not to disregard the fact that there are people who have been in that situation and been in that place. And I really hope and pray that I don't find myself in that situation. But I think it's very important how a person treats me when they are mad. Then beyond how they treat me, I look at how they treat other people. So if you're kind to me and you're nice, and then we go out and you look down or you talk to a waiter or you talk to the gateman at the restaurant that opens the gate to the restaurant we're going to eat, those things for me are a reflection of who you are. It's not about how you treat me. Because you love me, so you treat me with kindness. But then, how do you treat your sisters? How do you treat your mother? How do you treat people who have nothing to offer you? Your help, your gatesman, all those people who probably you feel that are not in the same class with you. How do you treat them? Do you treat them fundamentally with kindness and like a human being? If yes, we're good to go. If not, no, it's a deal breaker for me.
With all this wisdom, are you single or married?
Are you single or married, Olive?
I'm single.
Because I say I haven't got the invitation yet, so we haven't bought a shwebe.
You know how many of us thought, 2020 is the year. That's come and do.
It is well. It's been great talking to you, Olive. We wish we had more time, but we'll be taking this to social media. Let's hear what you have to say. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Thank you so much, Olive, for joining us.
Indeed, and a very big thank you to everyone who has been a part of the show today, all the way from 6 a.m. until now. It's almost 8:45 a.m., And MM was raring on to say something in the kitchen. She was raring to say something just to be part of, and there's never enough time. But we have to say a big thank you to you for joining us throughout today. The guys will be back tomorrow, Thursday morning. The week is almost up, people. Yes, thanks to Only NG for the kitchen accessories. Sadly, we didn't have the chef, but it's all right. Hopefully you have a great day. Stay safe, very important.
Bye.